about her leniency for child sex predators, including one case where an 18-year-old man was convicted of child pornography charges. Federal guidelines called for a sentence of 8 to 10 years. Prosecutors, they said a minimum of 2 years. Judge Jackson gave him only 3 months behind bars. Senator Tom Cotton is with us. Senator, I read that and my blood boiled, and you've been highlighting it as others have. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Sean, in this case of U.S. v. Hawkins, as you said, the guidelines called for 8 to 10 years. The prosecutors asked for 2 years since he pleaded guilty. She only gave him 3 months. That's got a lot of attention. We just discovered this week, though, that he was back in front of her 6 years later in 2019. And I asked her about this yesterday, why she, on the recommendation of the probation office, gave him 6 more months in a halfway house, twice what he got for his original crime, plus more monitoring of his computer usage. She claimed that she didn't know, but we learned today through a leak from the probation office that 6 years on, he was still seeking out sexual images of young boys, which just goes to show how dangerous her lenient sentences are in these cases, which are really just a case of her soft on crime approach, always giving the shortest sentence possible. If she had given him 8 to 10 years, he would have been in prison then. If she had given him at least 2 years, maybe he would have appreciated the gravity of his crime, but she didn't. And now we need to dig in carefully into every case in which she gave these short sentences to sexual predators and other serious felons to see if they also went back and committed further crimes.
Let me ask you, between the 1619 Project, the speech he gave at Michigan Law School, CRT, these lenient sentences, do you know many Republicans that will support her nomination? Will all Democrats support it?
Sean, at this point, I'm not sure. I do think Republicans will be united in opposition. I would imagine there are some Democrats who are very concerned about her giving a 3-month sentence to a convicted child sex predator who had dozens of graphic images on his computer, and then 6 years later he comes back in front of her again, and she gives him 6 months in a halfway house. And there's also the fact that she says she can't define what a woman is, or she blatantly disregarded immigration law to try to stop President Trump from enforcing our border. She's a far less left activist. She always has been.
All right, great job by you and a lot of the Republicans on that committee. Thank you, sir. When we come back, we'll go live